staggering. Now, I mentioned it in the introduction, you've got interested in breathing techniques to obviously learn how to do this for this album, but you're taking that to the classroom. How did you get involved? How did you translate that?
Well, obviously playing a wind instrument and also playing in concerts a lot in front of a lot of people. It's very easy to get nervous when you're playing in front of a lot of people, but I've always had this great advantage because I naturally, by playing a wind instrument, do breathing exercises, and that helps me with performance anxiety. And so I started to work with a wonderful charity called Children and the Arts, who take art in general into schools around the United Kingdom. And I started to speak to head teachers who were telling me that levels of anxiety in schools are really skyrocketing at the moment. And so I started to teach the children, when I went to play for them, how to do breathing exercises.
And there you are in the classroom, and you have a particular technique that you demonstrate and talk them through. Tell me what that is, because it does help people.
Well, yes, it's lovely. It's called an elephant breath. And we pretend to be elephants, and we imagine that we have a very long trunk at the end of our nose, and we just visualize the air going very slowly and gently up into our noses, and then we put our hands on our tummies and we feel our tummies coming out, and we avoid putting air into our chests, chest breathing.
And in terms of, I know that you've actually, with your music, gone back to your old school in Australia, and actually they do this now, don't they, to settle the children down, to calm it down?
They've found that it's really helped with anxiety and bullying, if a child feels like they're being bullied, or if they're feeling sad or anxious or angry or even overexcited because they're really happy. If they ever need to calm themselves down, they just stop, they take their elephant breath, and then they can build up a bit of resilience to problems in general, and they can have a bit of distance from the problem and hopefully deal with it in a better way in the long term.
Just a final question about your album, because it's spectacular. I mean, how long have you been playing this act? Did you know straight away, or did you stumble across it?
I loved it from the minute I started playing it. I had an amazing teacher. I grew up in Sydney and she was just fantastic. So she was a huge inspiration, but I just loved the sound of the saxophone. There was something about the sound, and I think that's why I keep playing now, actually.
Well, you play it so beautifully. Amy, thank you so much for coming in and taking us through that technique. So you talk about performance nervousness. I might try it myself, but thank you so much for joining us here on today's programme. Well, that's just about it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you at the same time tomorrow. Now, Amy is going to actually play us out of the programme, but for now, bye-bye from me.